Today, we're going to tear apart one of those short, terrifying pieces of internet horror. You know the ones, the kind that proves you really don't need a huge budget or 2 hours to leave someone sleepless. This one is short, sharp, and it masterfully blends ancient folklore with that modern sense of dread. So let's break down exactly why it's so freaking effective. This right here, this is the image that the story leaves you with. It's the final, chilling thought that just sticks in your brain. But to really feel the gut punch of this reveal, we have to go back to the beginning. You know, like any good folktale, this one starts out so normal. It's got that timeless feel, right? Just a person, a river, and an encounter that's about to change everything. It's this ordinary, almost boring setup that makes the horror that follows hit so much harder. All right, so let's get into the first part of this story. It all kicks off with this seemingly harmless meeting between the fisherman and, well, something from the river. So here's the inciting incident. A creature, a Kappa, comes up and begs the fisherman for the turtle he just caught. And the fisherman, he just gives it to him. He obliges. On the surface, it's just a simple, maybe kind of weird exchange. But in the world of folklore, nothing is ever that simple. This one little choice is the domino that knocks everything else over. But hold on. Before we see what happens because of that choice, we need to understand exactly what the fisherman is dealing with here. Because to really get why this story is so scary, you have to know the monster. So let's do a quick dive into the anatomy of a Kappa. The creature at the center of all this is a Kappa. It's a famous yokai, which is basically a supernatural spirit or demon from Japanese folklore. They're these ancient water beings, and let's just say their reputation is complicated. Okay, so a Kappa has a few key traits you gotta know. It's amphibious, kind of humanoid. It's got a shell like a turtle, which obviously explains why it was so interested in the fisherman's turtle. But the most important detail, the thing you absolutely have to remember, is the bowl-like thing on its head. It's filled with water, and that water is literally the source of all its power. Keep that in your back pocket, because it's about to become very important. All right, so now that we've got the Folklore 101 out of the way, let's get back to that riverbank. Because we're about to see how a simple gift gets twisted into a grotesque, totally unnatural ritual. And this is where the story just dives headfirst into pure body horror. The Kappa doesn't just eat the turtle or something. No, it uses that magical, life-giving water from its head to perform this awful ritual. The turtle's shell cracks open, its body starts stretching. It's just gruesome. This isn't birth, it's a violent, painful corruption of life. And from that, a new Kappa is born. So that horrifying scene at the river is over. But for our fishermen, the real terror is just getting started. This is the story's climax, and the consequences are coming home. Literally. See, the horror is no longer out there in the wilderness. It's personal now. This newborn monster, it follows him. The one place he should feel safe, his home, is now violated. It's just standing there, right outside his door. And then, it speaks. This is the line. This is what sends a shiver down your spine. It's not a monster's roar, not some overt threat. It's just a whisper, and it is absolutely dripping with creepy ambiguity. So what does that even mean, right? Is it angry, blaming the fisherman for its horrible birth? Is it a lonely, newborn creature pleading for company? Or is it a curse, a promise that the fisherman is now tied to this thing forever? The real horror is that we never find out. That uncertainty forces our minds to fill in the blanks with the worst possible answer. Okay, let's zoom out for a second. Why does this tiny little story pack such a punch? Well, it's a perfect example of this powerful new kind of storytelling, the digital campfire tale. Think about it. The way we share scary stories has completely changed. The campfire has been replaced by the comment section on a viral video. Word of mouth has become a TikTok short. These stories spread way faster, and they change and adapt on the fly. But at their core, they're tapping into the exact same primal fears. And that's really the main takeaway here. The absolute genius of this story is its formula. It takes an ancient, deeply rooted monster, the Kappa, and plugs it right into our modern, lightning-fast media landscape. The fear is already there. It's baked into centuries of storytelling. This just gives it a terrifying new way to find us. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? As we're all endlessly scrolling, maybe the most terrifying things we're going to find are the stories that have just been waiting in the shadows for hundreds of years, ready for their viral moment. So I'll leave you with this. What monster from folklore do you think is next?